Have you ever reached up to a high shelf or turned quickly to answer someone and felt that tiny wobble, like your feet were on a boat for a second? You're not alone. Balance changes with time. But here's the good news. Your balance can improve at any age, and it doesn't take hours in the gym. Just a few focused minutes can make a real difference in how steady you feel getting out of bed, walking across a parking lot, or stepping into the shower. Today, we're going to do exactly that together. We're talking about 4 simple balance drills that take only 3 minutes a day. No fancy equipment, no complicated moves. Just you, a sturdy surface, and a little bit of consistency. Before we start, set yourself up for success. Stand near a kitchen counter or the back of a sturdy chair. Put on shoes with a good grip if your floor is slippery, and clear a little space so you're not dodging a rug or a coffee table. If you use a cane or walker, keep it nearby for support, and always listen to your body. You should feel challenged but safe, never in pain. If anything feels off, like dizziness or sharp discomfort, pause and take a seat. There's no rush here. We're going to aim for about 45 seconds for each drill. Think of it like brushing your teeth. Small, daily, and incredibly effective over time. Ready? Let's start with the first drill, which I like to call the tightrope stance, because it trains your body to stay steady on a narrow base, the way you do when you step between a coffee table and a couch or walk along a crowded hallway. Stand side on to your kitchen counter, with one hand resting lightly on it. Feet are hip width to start. Stack yourself tall, like you're being lifted gently by the crown of your head. Let your shoulders soften. Soften your knees too, no locking them straight. Imagine zipping up a snug pair of pants. That gentle belly brace protects your back and gives you more control. Now, slide one foot forward so your front heel lines up with the instep of your back foot. This is a semi-tandem stance, and it's a perfect starting point. If it already feels easy, you can go to full tandem. Heel directly in front of toes, like you're standing on a line. Keep your eyes on the horizon, not the floor. That alone can help your body know which way is up. Feel the weight spread across the middle of both feet, not all on your heels, and not all on your toes. Let your fingers rest on the counter like butterfly wings, just enough to give you confidence, but not a full grip. Take a slow breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. If you feel steady, try lifting your fingertips a hair above the counter for a second, then set them back down. That little test tells your brain, hey, I've got this. If you wobble, that's okay. Wobbling is your body learning. Hold here for about 20 to 30 seconds, and then step your feet apart and shake out your legs. Switch sides so the other foot is in front. You might notice one side is steadier than the other. That's normal. We all have a favorite leg. With practice, the wobbly side catches up. A few quick tips to get the most out of this. Don't hold your breath. If you notice your neck tensing, exhale and soften your jaw. Don't lean into the counter. If you feel yourself hinging at the hips or leaning forward, think about stacking your ribs over your hips again. And if full heel to toe feels too wobbly today, slide that front foot back so the heel lines up with the arch of the back foot. Progress is progress, even in small steps. This simple stance trains what's called your ankle strategy, the tiny adjustments your ankles make to keep you upright on uneven or narrow surfaces. You use it when you step onto a curb, stand on a bus, or turn quickly in the kitchen. The more you practice in a safe way, the faster your body responds in real life when you need it. Now let's move into the second drill, a gentle weight shift with toe taps that I call the clock taps. It teaches your body to stay balanced as you move a leg, which is exactly what you do every time you step over a threshold or reach to the side. Position yourself behind your chair or at the counter with both hands lightly resting for support. Stand tall again. Soften your knees and let your feet point straight ahead. Shift your weight onto your left foot so that leg takes most of your body weight. Keep your belly gently braced, like you're hugging your middle. Now, with your right foot, lightly tap the floor in front of you, like you're tapping the number 12 on a clock. Bring it back to center. Tap out to the side, like 3 o'clock, back to center. Now tap behind you, like 6 o'clock. If that feels too far, make the tap small. Just a few inches works fine. Move slowly and deliberately, staying tall through your torso. No slouching, no leaning hard into your hands. The standing knee stays soft and ready, not locked. As you tap forward, notice how your ankle and hip work together. As you tap to the side, feel the little muscles around your hips switch on. When you tap behind, keep your chest tall, no folding forward, and just reach your toes back as far as is comfortable. If balance is a challenge today, keep the tapping toe lightly down the whole time and slide it forward, sideways, and back. That sliding version is very effective and very safe. Do this tapping pattern for about 30 to 45 seconds, then switch legs. On the second side, go at the same slow pace. Your hands can rest on the counter for as long as you want. If you feel steady, try using just one hand. If that's easy, hover your fingertips over the surface now and then. Remember, the goal is not to be perfect. It's to teach your body how to adjust gracefully as you move. Think smooth, not fast. If your knees are cranky, keep the tap small and the knees softly bent, like gentle shock absorbers. If your hips feel tight, imagine growing taller to the crown of your head as you move your foot, which creates space and ease. If you feel your toes clawing the ground, soften them. Spreading the pressure across your whole foot gives you a wider base and makes balance easier. One more thing about the clock taps. Your eyes help a lot. Pick a calm point in front of you to look at. That steady gaze gives your inner ear and brain a reliable reference, which steadies your body. And breathe. Inhale as the foot comes back to the center. Exhale as it taps. Your breath is like a metronome that keeps your movement smooth and your nervous system calm. Daily life is full of little moments that mirror these two drills. Tandem stance shows up when you weave through a narrow space or stand with your feet close together while searching a bag. Clock taps show up when you step around a pet, reach to the side for a pot, or step backward to close a cabinet. Practicing them on purpose makes those moments safer and easier. If you're thinking, I'm not as steady as I used to be, that's okay. You are training your balance now, and your body will respond. People often notice changes faster than they expect. Standing in line feels easier. Turning in the kitchen feels smoother. Even getting dressed feels more secure. The key is consistency, not perfection. 3 minutes a day is enough to build confidence that shows up when it matters. Set yourself up to remember. Do a stance while the kettle boils. Do the taps as the microwave counts down. Make a little ritual of it. Feet under you, shoulders soft, eyes on the horizon, calm breath. If you need extra safety, place the chair against the wall so it won't slide, and let someone know you're practicing if you're alone at home. If you use a medical device or have a condition that affects your balance, adapt as needed and check in with your healthcare provider for personalized guidance. Take a moment now to stand tall, feel your feet on the floor, and notice how you feel. Maybe a touch more weight through your ankles, a little more aware of your posture. That awareness is your foundation, and we're going to keep building on it one simple step at a time. Let's keep that steady, calm feeling going and add a little movement along the line, the way you do when you navigate a tight grocery aisle or walk along a curb. Stand next to your counter again, side on, with one hand lightly resting for support. Soften your knees, lift tall to the crown of your head, and let your shoulders relax. Now imagine there's a line on the floor in front of you. If you like a visual target, you can even place a strip of painter's tape there for future practice. Take a small step forward so your front heel lands right in front of your back toes, heel to toe, like you're walking on that line. Pause a second to feel your weight settle through the middle of your front foot, not just the heel. Then bring your back foot forward to meet it. Again, heel to toe. Go slowly. Each step is an opportunity for your ankles and hips to make tiny corrections that keep you centered. Keep your gaze straight ahead at something calm, maybe a spot on the wall. Looking at the floor can pull your posture forward and make you feel less steady. If you feel wobbly, keep your fingers on the counter as much as you need. If that feels easy, use just your fingertips. If you're really steady, hover your hand above the counter for a step or two, then come back to light contact. Think smooth, like you're gliding. Your breath is your rhythm. Exhale as you step. Inhale as you settle. Take about 6 to 8 careful steps forward, then stop. Turn safely with small steps and walk back along the line. If your feet or toes feel tender, shorten your steps so the heel-to-toe contact is gentle. If you have numbness in your feet, slow the pace even more. Use your hand for contact and keep your eyes up for extra input. If your hips feel tight, imagine growing taller with each step, like you're walking towards something you're happy to see. If your balance feels challenged today, widen your stance a touch so your heel lands next to the arch of the back foot instead of right on the toes. That slightly wider base still builds balance without the scare factor. You can make this drill more interesting by adding a little head movement once you feel steady. Keep walking heel to toe and gently turn your head to look left for one step, then center for the next, then right for the next, then center again. Move your head slowly, like you're watching a bird fly by, and keep your shoulders quiet. Your inner ear helps your balance, and this teaches it to work with your eyes and muscles. If you get dizzy at any time, stop the head turns and return your gaze to that calm point ahead. Safety first. Always. This heel-to-toe walk is like practicing for real life. Think about crowded family gatherings, church aisles, narrow sidewalks, and those painted lines in parking lots. The better you are at placing your feet on a line with control, the easier and safer those situations feel. You're teaching your body to stay centered, even on a narrow path. When you've had enough passes down and back to fill about 45 seconds, release the counter, shake out your shoulders, and feel how awake your ankles and hips are. There's a quiet confidence that comes from taking deliberate steps like that. You're not rushing, you're mastering. Now let's take that confidence into a movement you do every single day, often without thinking. Getting up from a chair and sitting back down. This one builds not only balance, but also the leg strength that keeps you steady in a split second. Find a sturdy chair that doesn't roll, preferably with armrests nearby if you need them, and place it so the back touches a wall for extra security. If you've got a counter within reach, position the chair close so you can place a hand there if needed. Sit tall on the front half of the seat, feet about hip width apart, both soles flat on the floor and toes pointing straight ahead. Scoot your hips forward just a bit so your knees are comfortably bent over your ankles. Place your hands lightly on your thighs to start. Here's the move. Lean your chest forward a little, as if you're aiming your nose over your toes. Press your feet into the floor and stand up smoothly to tall. Pause for a heartbeat in that tall, standing posture. Feel your weight evenly through your feet and let your tailbone drop so you're not arching your back. Now, reach your hips back like you're about to touch an imaginary stool and slowly sit down with control. Try to land softly, not plop. That slow return is where your balance really learns to control your center of gravity. If standing without hands is tough right now, use your hands to help by pushing off your thighs or the armrests as you stand, and then guide yourself down the same way. If your knees protest, scoot your feet a bit farther apart and turn the toes slightly out, or place a folded towel on the seat to make it higher. If you feel steady and want a little more challenge, bring your arms forward as you stand like you're reaching to place a book on a high shelf. Then lower your arms as you sit. Another gentle progression is to pause halfway down for a count of 2 before you finish sitting. Then stand up again. That hover teaches control in the trickiest part of the movement. Breathe out as you stand. Breathe in as you sit. Keep your eyes forward, not down. Let your knees track in line with your toes. They're like train wheels rolling on tracks, not caving inward. Aim for a smooth, even tempo. If you start to feel wobbly at the top, widen your stance a touch or keep one hand on the counter just off to the side. Do this for about 45 seconds at a measured pace, even if that's only 4 or 5 quality repetitions. Quality beats quantity every time. This simple chair stand is your insurance policy for daily life. It's what keeps you steady getting up from the couch, rising from the toilet, and stepping out of a car. When your thighs and hips are a bit stronger and your balance is tuned, you recover faster if you trip, you turn more confidently, and you feel less hesitant on your feet. That confidence alone changes how you move through the day. If you want to make the movement even more real world, add a tiny twist with your eyes before you sit, as if you're checking behind you for a chair. Turn your eyes, not your whole head at first, to glance to the right when you're halfway down, then center, then finish the sit. On the next one, glance to the left. Keep it small and controlled. This teaches you to gather information while moving, which is exactly what happens when someone talks to you as you're taking a seat or you're reaching to set a cup down. Take a breath and notice how you feel now. You practice staying center on a line and controlling your body as you shift up and down in space. Both are core skills for preventing falls. If any part felt wobbly, that's the sweet spot where your body is learning. Keep your environment safe. Keep your contact point nearby, and keep the movement slow and deliberate. 3 minutes may sound tiny, but tiny daily signals add up. You're building a reflex, and like brushing your teeth, it's the regular practice that makes all the difference. If you like a little structure, think of your day in small windows. While the coffee brews, walk your line. Before lunch, do your chair stands. Waiting for the evening news, try a few more careful steps. You don't have to do it all at once. And you don't have to be perfect. You're just asking your body, gently and consistently, to be ready for life. And it listens. Hold on to that tall posture for a moment. Roll your shoulders back and down, and give yourself credit. You put in the time, you paid attention, and that's exactly how steadiness grows. Quietly, a few focused breaths at a time. Stay with that feeling for a moment, the way your feet meet the floor, and your breath settles your whole posture. That sense of calm is part of your training, just as much as the movements. When you learn to move from this steady place, your body remembers that the next time you're on a step, a bus, or a slick patch by the sink. Confidence grows in quiet ways, and it shows up at exactly the right time. Now let's shape these 3 minutes so they fit you perfectly. Think of each drill like a dial you can turn up or down. On days when you feel fresh and steady, turn the dial up a notch. On days when you're tired or your joints are fussy, turn it down and keep it gentle. You're not trying to win a prize here. You're building a habit your body trusts. If standing on that narrow line felt a bit easy, make the stance a touch slimmer or add a soft reach with one arm as if you're placing a book on a shelf. Then bring it back to your side without rushing. Keep your chest tall. If it felt wobbly, widen your feet half an inch and keep a firmer hand on the counter. For the taps around your clock, you can hold your foot just a tiny bit off the floor for a slow count of 1 before you touch down again, like a polite pause. If that's too much today, let your toes slide along the floor so they're always in contact, like a safety rail for your foot. For the heel-to-toe walk, you can add a 2-count balance at each step, almost like you're pausing to admire a photo on the wall. Then take the next step. And when you practice the sit-to-stand, take twice as long to sit down as you did to stand up. That's slow. Quiet landing teaches control better than any fancy equipment. Real life rarely asks us to do only one thing at a time. So when you feel ready, bring in a tiny bit of life noise. While you walk your line or do your taps, name an item in your kitchen with each step, or say the days of the week forward. Keep your words slow and your steps smooth. If your balance feels unsure at any point, drop the talking and return your focus to your breath and your steady gaze. This little mental add-on is surprisingly powerful. It teaches your body and brain to share attention without losing your footing, which is exactly what happens when someone asks you a question as you're turning toward the stove or stepping off a curb. You might be wondering how you'll know it's working. Pick one tiny, personal checkpoint and return to it once a week. Maybe you stand in that semi-tandem stance with one fingertip on the counter and count your slow breaths. Maybe you notice how many smooth chair stands you do in your 45 seconds without rushing. Maybe you feel your toes relax instead of clawing the floor. Those small signs are your progress report. They matter more than any stopwatch. A word on safety, because it's the foundation for everything. Practice in good lighting. If you wear bifocals, be aware that the lower part of your lenses can play tricks on depth perception. So keep your gaze soft and forward instead of peering down to the reading portion. If dizziness, chest pain, or sharp joint pain shows up, stop, sit, and check in with your healthcare provider. If you live with neuropathy, arthritis, or low blood pressure that makes you lightheaded when you stand, keep one hand on the counter, move slowly, and give yourself a breath at the top before you take the next step. You are not behind if you use support. You are being smart. It also helps to make your home work with you. A clear pathway is a gift to your balance. Tuck cords away, smooth out curled rug corners, and add a nightlight to the bathroom route, so your eyes can help your body at 2 in the morning. Choose shoes with a bit of grip and a snug heel rather than loose slippers that slide. These little fixes are like removing pebbles from your path. They don't take long and they change everything. Let's connect the dots to everyday moments you already do. When you're brushing your teeth, stand in that semi-tandem stance with a light fingertip on the counter. When you're waiting for water to boil, walk your heel-to-toe line once or twice with your hand nearby. When a commercial comes on, do a few slow chair stands. When you're chatting on the phone, do the gentle clock taps while you listen, staying tall through your spine. You'll barely notice the time, but your balance will notice the practice. If fear of falling has made you more cautious lately, acknowledge it kindly. It's trying to protect you. Then give it the proof it needs, one small success at a time. That might be standing on the line for 5 steady breaths today, or tapping only to 12 and 3 on your clock and calling that a win. Celebrate that. Tomorrow, you can add 6. Wobbles aren't failures. They're signals that your balance system is learning. The trick is to wobble in a safe environment with a support nearby, so you build skill without risking a spill. You might also notice changes in places you don't expect. Your posture may feel more upright, your steps more sure, your turns smoother. Getting dressed, especially standing pull-on pants, may feel easier because your ankles and hips are talking to each other more clearly. Even your mood can shift. When your footing feels secure, your world feels a little wider. That's not a small thing. If you enjoy a gentle challenge, choose one drill to make your focus for the week. Keep the others easy and familiar, and give that one drill the extra attention. Maybe this week you're working on the pause at each heel-to-toe step. Every time you pass the counter, you do 2 passes with that pause. Next week, your focus might be the slow, quiet landing on the chair. This keeps practice interesting without piling on complexity. Hydration, by the way, helps your balance more than most people realize. Even mild dehydration can make you feel lightheaded when you stand. Keep a glass of water nearby and sip through the day. If you take medications that affect blood pressure or balance, plan your practice of the time of day you usually feel your best and most alert. Morning after breakfast works well for many people, but choose your sweet spot. If you're sharing a home, invite a partner or friend to join you. It can be as simple as standing in your tightrope stance together and comparing notes about which foot feels steadier. A minute of shared practice can be surprisingly fun, and it keeps you both accountable. If you live alone, you might tell a friend, "I'm doing my 3-minute balance at tea time," and send a quick thumbs-up text after. Little rituals make habits stick. Most of all, be gentle with yourself. You're doing something powerful in a very human way, showing up for your body daily with patience. That's how we build anything that lasts. If a day gets away from you, no shame. Start again at the next kettle boil or the next commercial break. The clock resets every time you stand up and place your feet with intention. I'd love to hear how this feels in your life. Which drill gave you the biggest aha? Where did you notice a wobble turning into steadiness? Share your wins or questions in the comments so we can cheer you on and help where we can. If this was helpful, tap like and subscribe for more simple, practical steps to stay strong, steady, and independent. Share this with someone you care about who might appreciate a little extra confidence on their feet. Here's to the 3 mindful minutes that open up the other 23 hours and 57 minutes of your day. To walking with ease, turning with grace, and trusting your body in the moments that matter. You've got this, and I'm cheering you on every step of the way.